This is just AMZN for Thursday, April 2nd, 2020. Take a look at the 5-minute zoomed out, just showing that this channel, I don't remember if I had it on here for yesterday's video, but it came right into price we were at the close or near the close yesterday, and then we got back up into the next price. It just keeps going between 1900 and 1925 again. So this morning we actually had a slight, very small gap down, and then just ran up. I mean, well, we ran up and pulled back almost all the way down to the 1900 level, ran all the way up to 1925, got a close above it, and that was a trap because then it came right back down, went sideways for a while. I'll draw the triangle. I'm sure you can see it. But you really had a really, wow, that's not a good drawing. There you go. Relatively flat top. Obviously, this is a pretty steep, higher lows, but it worked. I mean, it totally broke down. I was really hoping for a bigger retest to come up to, near this level. It did not. I missed this breakdown. It was just phenomenal. And yeah, came all the way down, threw in a nice hammer here, and then that broke down. It's like, is this going to bounce? Are we headed for the close? And then you had this big candle come in, then an inside candle. Big bullish candle, another hammer, inverted hammer, another hammer, and then all of a sudden it was popping. Not popping, it was recovering into a, what's kind of funny is it's kind of like a backwards triangle. So you have this and you have this. So it's kind of expanding the range. When those are really big, I mean, when they're going like really big like this, usually you can figure out a way to trade the range, so you're getting in here bearish and getting out down here bullish because you did the opposite here to here and then here to here, but usually you don't know about it that early. Anyway, it was just interesting to see, a couple times where we had triangles where, this was an ascending triangle and it was an amazing, great setup. And then this one kind of being an expanding triangle, almost down into our pivot here, really turning this into inverted head and shoulders. And that was the neckline, and it popped into the close. So really cool to see the pattern showing up like that. We got a little bit of bullishness coming in. So we bounced off the 21. We held the lows. We held above closes. We didn't close back below the low of this pattern, or at least not yet. If we have some sort of gap down and we're opening up around 1880, then yeah, I think a lot of bulls will be trapped and will continue down. Right now, this is just a really big kind of flag pattern. The volume has been decreasing ever since this candle. Well, I should say all of this has been decreasing volume. We had a lot of volume these days. But we've been on decreasing volume in a smaller range from here to here to here to here. There we go. So that's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 days. If we can get some continued bullishness tomorrow, that'd be cool. We could probably get back up here around 1950, 1960, get back up into the uptrend channel here. That would actually be a really nice S-curve and continuation. Possible. We'll see if it happens. But I mean, we've got a little ways to run here. Bullish if we can keep going up. We'll see. End up doing that. Look for. So after hours, we're still in this range. And yes, I know this. I've noticed it. I don't know if you've noticed it. Let me draw this. But like I just drew inverted head and shoulders over here. We do have a bigger head and shoulders like this. And so, that could be the shoulder. It could go sideways a little more. It could totally run up again. It could run up over here. We could get up to 1950, 1960, just like I was talking about, and then roll over. Yes, it does go further over. What am I trying to do? Get rid of it. There we go. It goes further over, and we've had some other patterns that haven't really played out. Like this was a double top that didn't play out, and then we were really channel bound here, and we still are. It just shows that this is a much bigger pattern. We'll look at the hourly. Let's see if anything's forming. Or no, it's the 30-minute. Yeah, really nice consolidation. We got a squeeze going. So it's got some compression. It's going to get ready to move here. So the 30-minute, still no triangle. Wow, I thought a triangle would have popped in here. But yeah, we've got a squeeze going on the 30-minute also. So if we can get some bullishness and get a good move above 1925 and then a retest into it, because we've had moves into it. But if we can, if we can get going bullish and get a close, if we can do something like this, there we go. Come on, it's going really slow again. There we go. If we can do something like this, instead of breaking down and retesting, but if we can do, and we did that again here, today, depending on how you draw this. If we can get a continued move up pre-market and do something like that, and then actually break out, get in on this retest right here. Or if it comes back all the way to there. So that could happen as a day trade. It could happen as a swing trade. Well, we've been in that area and we sold off from it, had a really nice retest into the low as new old support, new resistance. And then from there we broke down. So I'm going to look for that level, above 1925. We've come in 1925. We did it here, broke down from it. So right now it is resistance. If we can bump our heads against it here and then pop out, great. Look for that retest and get in here. And that'd probably be even better because then you're getting in here. Your stop's a little further down here or something, if you get something like this, like these candles right below, and then it pops, really good indication. Now, if it does something like this where it runs and does a smaller, sorry, too many lines. If it does something like this where it runs and is a smaller retest and doesn't get back up to that level, okay, roll with it. And so if we get a channel here and it goes up and then it comes only down to 1930 and then starts to continue, okay, take it there, looking for that. Still try and get your stop down here in case it comes back down and tries to fake people out. I've been burned on that too many times. All right, anyway, let's go back to the 5-minute. So today, getting it right at the open, there was a really nice high wave candle on the 1950 strike. This really could have been traded probably like 450, even 4, because it was holding these 450 lows through here, and then it popped. This is the run that it made up to 1950. I'm sorry, 1925. So that was going from like 4, maybe 450, all the way up to probably 7. Get a little bit above this high, maybe 7, 8. If you were in this at, let's say you get in at 450 right on this candle and not earlier with this candle, and all of a sudden the next 5 minutes you're up to R, you'd probably be getting out here if you were fast enough to actually move your target out another R. So if you were able to move it because you saw, oh, it's running, I'm gonna hit my target. Let me move it out a little bit more. Just go out an R from 6R to 7R. I'm sorry, from 650 to 750. So that's an extra R. And try not to go too much further, because if you go to 850 and then it doesn't fill, then you'll be kicking yourself. I've done that. Pulled back, held this low really well until it broke down. And so this was that breakdown going back to, we just couldn't get more bullishness going. So, we had some lower highs all through this as we were just sitting here, banging our heads against, this resistance. And it was just a resistance of below 1925 today. So again, indication that it was going to break down, and then way down here, you could have still been trading the same one, getting in at 2, getting in at 3. Don't know if that would have filled. That would have been the next pivot, and you're probably just trying to scalp out something like at 250. Then, if you got in 2 by 1, or maybe you got into 2 of these 2 by 150 with $100 risk, and you're looking for 3, and you got your stop moved up to 250, and you're out at 250, so that's an R. That would have gotten you an R back if you got stopped out of you. We're over here trying to go bullish. On the bearish side, 1880. So again, we don't have 1875. We don't have the 5s or the 250s. But so I picked 1880 because we have a pivot there. We made slightly lower lows all the way through this. Move down a little bit more. There we go. Slightly lower lows all the way through this, and then you come into this this point where this candle right at noon was this one right here, pushing up, kind of the last chance here. Not the last chance. I mean, some of these other ones looked at it, but this is, inverted hammer, inverted hammer, inverted hammer, 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 high wave, inverted hammer, inverted hammer, inverted hammer, and then that one's the one that breaks down. I mean, how would you know that's the one? Other than the consolidation? I mean, really, I think just that this is going sideways here, and then like literally you can draw a line like this. Okay, I can't draw straight lines. Not right now. I'm going to draw like this and see how well this fits. If we go from here, oh, that's too steep. Okay, that's too steep. Bummer. I was going to say it's going to line up. It doesn't line up. See, that's cool. You go from like this high wave, like this, to that high wave. That's cool. So that high wave to this high wave. Open low to that low. So obviously my point is you wouldn't have known it was that candle because it could have been this candle and then it didn't work. I'm guessing some folks were looking for it to break down over here, thinking, oh, I can draw this line and it's actually, it's like this is really consolidating. That's one of those times where it's like, maybe just draw the triangle a little bigger and wait a little more. And usually then things will cooperate a lot more for me. So that's waiting for this stair step, like not getting sucked into this one, but allowing retest. Even if you got in bearish, as using this candle as a signal, maybe you're in bearish in the next candle. Well, from here to here, you should have a wide enough stop, like the stop being up here, you would have been stopped out. So let's say you got in at the best case scenario, after this candle breaks down, you got in on this candle at the low. That's 1125. Let's go back to the put. And if we can get back to the put. Okay, 1125 is right here. So you're getting in here at 5. Your stop's at 4. That's apparently worst case scenario is getting in at 5. No, it's likely somebody just bought right there because there's only 2 contracts, and maybe you could have gotten a better fill like 450, like the next candle. But if you got in here 5 by 4, sorry, it looks like you probably would have been stopped out over here because 401. I mean, did somebody really buy 401? Did someone stop get hit at like 425 and it filled at 401? I've seen that plenty too. Okay. Or if you waited, like if you got stopped out here, 5 by 4, and you got stopped out here, well, all of a sudden it moves right on back up. It's like, oh, I was in at 5. I just got wicked out. That's all. Okay. Get in at 550 by 450. Get that back. Get that R back. Get out at 8. Get out at 7 because that's the next pivot here. You push back up. There's this retest here. This is the only one we got. What this really held is this previous pivot or this previous level around 7. Went up to 8, almost 9, came back to 7, held 7 or 7 by 6, continue on up. So this is the 1880. It's a little strange doing an 1880 on a Thursday. If we go out to the 1850, it gets even better. So 1850, if they'll cooperate here. Okay, so 1850, aside from this being some crazy wick here, this held a little better for the lows. But look at the price. 2 by 1. I mean, you'd be doing 2 by 1 all day. Get in 2 by 1 here, runs up. Get in 2 by 1 here. And I'm still in. I'm only down like a quarter of an R. I'm just going to hold through this, and then it starts to go. Or you waited, and it's like, oh, it's starting to break down. Let me get in 2 by 1 because the 1205 candle still would have been filled, or the 1210 candle apparently looks like you would have been filled 2 by 1. I don't know. But this one being further out gives you time. So this is what I should have been jumping into as this was melting down. Seeing these candles, it's like, oh, it's going without me. If you go a little further out, you still have that opportunity because that opportunity hasn't ran away as quickly. So this, getting in 250 by 150, still is below the slow. You've got that, same $100 risk. You just let a little bit get away, and you want to get into, take the trade. So you're in at 250. Goes up here. Maybe you scalped a little bit out at 350. Didn't quite get. Probably wouldn't have been filled to get out at 350. Rotates all the way back to 250. This is where you should have been getting in, waiting. Like, okay, well, I know I'm chasing it, don't get in. And if it can come back, if it can continue on up, where could this pull back to? 2, that's where it started, probably 250. And it comes back to 250. Now, again, I don't know if you would have been filled here because that's the sell price probably. So it's possible you missed it altogether, even though you were looking at this option. But it's still just a great option to realize you have, literally an option you have, and you can choose to, which makes it another option for you to get in later on something like this. And look where it actually did come up to. It retested that level. I mean, how cool is that? So you did have something it did retest too. I just wanted to retest up this triangle and missed that. So going a little further out, looking for a little bit smaller of a gain because of it. You had an opportunity to get in 250 by 150 and for it to still run up to 450. That's still 2R. Or you could have scalped it at 350 for an R. Any of those are possible. And you could have gotten your R back for that, the one you lost earlier, if you lost one earlier. Anyway, this is really lagging again. But I think I pretty much said all I need to say. I just don't know if it's going to give it back. Nope, it's totally stuck. Okay, looks like I am overdue for a reboot. And hope this helps. This is Just AMZN. Thanks.